Vince Velasquez is a cold case detective.
This is not an area that a stranger would have just staked out to sexually assault a 14-year-old girl.
Russell Popham is his partner.
We're going to walk away today with the name of the person who did it now. But it gives us a better concept of what we're dealing with.
In these woods, more than 10 years ago, 14-year-old Nicole Smith was raped and murdered.
This here would be the murder in '95.
Velasquez and Popham begin with a review of the Smith homicide.
At about 8:30, she was walking to school with her sister and some friends, where Nicole forgot something and turned around. They were in a wooded path, and shortly thereafter, people reported hearing gunshots. The neighborhood was canvassed. Hundreds and hundreds of homes were canvassed, and people were talked to. Statements were taken, and basically this case went cold. And of course, Russell until 2004.
June 20th of 2004, around 9:50 p.m., 13-year-old victim was walking up the street, approached by a male, pulled into a wooded lot, overgrown lot, and raped.
Detectives knew their killer was back when DNA from the 2004 rape matched to the 1995 Smith murder.
You know, automatically we know our guy's back, but you know, I guess the troubling thing is the fact that it's exactly 9 years and 13 days apart, and there's no other DNA connection in 9 years. You know, we carry this everywhere we go.
Besides a DNA profile, cold case detectives have one other piece of compelling evidence tacked to the walls of their squad room.
This is what he looks like right here. According to the rape victim, this is him. The day she was raped, this is what she says he looked like right here.
Popham and Velasquez need to find this man before he finds another child. An informant named Jermaine Gray has ID'd a man who might have information on the murder. His name? Steve Reeves.
Steve is one of the guys that Jermaine Gray said that used to hang out with him. How were you today? Back in 1995.
We're here, we're sort of at a shot in the dark, so you know the Reeves that live around here, the Reeves family?
Right there.
Oh, okay.
They live right there?
Mm-hmm.
Did their house used to be pink or something?
Yes, it did.
Used
It
to,
did.
huh? I'm Captain Popham. I work with the East Point Police Department, and Detective Velasquez is right here. He works with the Atlanta Police
How
Department.
are you?
Okay.
The woman says there is no Steve Reeves, but she has a son named Kenneth who might be able to help.
She was a good friend to me or whatever. I wish I could help you out, you know, like.
So you knew her? You knew
Yeah, I knew
Nicole?
Yeah, we was all in the same class and stuff.
Well, here's the thing, man. Here's where we're at with this. The guy that killed Nicole, that you remember back in the day from the crime, has now raped the girl 9 years later in East Point. Didn't kill her, though. So he's back. And you see what I'm saying? Was there anybody that kind of looked like this back when you was going to school hanging out around there? Because this is him. According to the girl that got raped, this is the guy that killed Nicole. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kenneth doesn't recognize the face and tells police Nicole's murder still haunts him.
This is the absent and tardy list for Thurl High School on the day Nicole Smith was killed.
On the absentee and tardy list are the names of 153 male students, each a potential suspect.
Of course, if you were in school that day, you're eliminated. You know, you're accounted for. So these are the people that were unaccounted for. So that's a potential large number of people that we would want to look at. Stephen Burris was on the list. He attended Thurl High School, did not attend school that day.
Who's that guy there?
This is Stephen Burris.
Steve Burris, yeah.
Stephen Burris is of particular interest to Velasquez and Popham because of his checkered past.
We're getting his criminal history faxed over here. We do know that he was arrested for statutory rape and false imprisonment.
Those charges were later dropped, but Burris is not in the clear yet.
But right now, he's wanted by Douglas County for a probation violation. You know, if they ever catch him, he'll stay in prison or stay in their jail for about a year.
A wanted man who was in the area and unaccounted for at the time Nicole was killed. Cold case detectives are very interested.
When we look at his picture, he looks, you know, similar to the composites.
He's got, you know, glasses on in the photograph. Gold glasses that were described similar to the ones worn by the rapist, by the rape victim. So
Velasquez and Popham feel the trail heating up. They try to contact Burris through a local number without success.
Half a mile.
I've called that number before, and a woman answers, and she'll give him a message, but he never calls.
Detectives run a trace on the phone.
That's probably a good address, 38.
Yeah.
They get back a name and an address in a neighboring county.
Should be a girlfriend, most likely.
She looks like she was born in 1980, so she's 25 years old.
2 days later, there's still no trace of Burris, and his girlfriend is giving police the runaround.
And she's supposed to be getting back with us, and here it is 48 hours later, and she still hasn't gotten back with us. So dial the cell phone, see if she'll answer.
Your call has been forwarded to it.
I mean, she knows your number. I mean, she knows 730. That's the prefix, so she knows the number coming up.
Detectives suspect the woman is screening her calls.
I'm just blocking the number, calling her cell phone and blocking the number. See if she'll pick it up this way.
The ploy works.
This is Captain Popham with East Point Police. How are you? Okay. Have you talked to Mr. Burris lately? You have? Why won't Mr. Burris give us a call back? I mean, what's his problem? I don't want to become angry at her. I mean, that's the key at the time. That was the key to pinpointing him, was her. I mean, she's the only person we knew that saw him on a daily basis. But he's there right now, is what you're saying? Where are you at right now?
I mean, she's telling us he's at the house because she knows he's not there. That's why she's telling us that, because he's with her.
Yep.
So, I mean, but, you know, they're running like to kill somebody.
Talking to him right now is as far as this case goes, it's about the most important thing that we've had to do on this case in a while, just because he's avoiding us. But I mean, he's getting him relaxed, his body language is relaxed, looking at this. You know, he's drinking his Dr. Pepper now.
For cold case detectives, offering Burris a can of soda is all part of the strategy to get his DNA.
If he doesn't agree to give his DNA, that was what's called a surreptitious sample. He's going to, you know, he can't. If he wanted to take the can with him, he could, but once he leaves the can there, we'll take the can, right, it's discarded. We'll take the can and send the can and have the opening the can swab at the crime lab.
What we're looking at is we're looking at everybody that lived in the neighborhood. I'm gonna tell you why. We feel that the guy that did this probably lived in the neighborhood. Okay, and then we're gonna take it a step further, and we're looking at everybody that went to Darrell High School, right, Bunch Middle School, and we took it a step further, and we're even looking at people who didn't show for school that day. Okay, you were on the list.
What I like to do is explain to, especially in this case, what this is about. It's a rape, it's a murder, and we have DNA. Because what that's gonna do is gonna tell him, once we ask what we need from him, he's either gonna put up or shut up.
So what we're doing is this, so we're asking everybody that was either on that list that was absent to submit to a swab, right? So what that means is it's a Q-tip we would put in your mouth, rub each side, right?
Okay, what's that for though?
Okay, we're gonna compare it to evidence found at the crime scene. Okay, basically what that means is this. If you have absolutely nothing to do with the murder of Nicole Smith, right?
I ain't worried about that. I ain't killing nobody.
Listen to what I'm saying. Or the rape of another young girl in East Point in 2004.
Right, what you mean, a rape?
Another young girl was raped in East Point. Same guy. The guy that killed Nicole Smith, raped. He's from East Point.
Yeah, from East Point.
Yeah, that's why we're working this together.
That's, you know, the DNA is the same. I mean, that's why we're telling you, we're up front with you. You know, there's DNA found from when Nicole was killed.
So, but basically that's it. We want to ask you for your permission to get your DNA.
So at that point, honestly, I was a little more anxious than when I first walked in, because I really thought at that point he was going to backpedal, or he was going to tell us no.
I mean, I ain't got no reason not to. I mean, y'all being blunt with me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, straight up. I mean, I ain't killed nobody. You know,
Right.
I ain't trying to rape nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't have no problem with that, but I do. Come on.
Burris consents to provide a saliva sample.
Very good. Okay, and then turn it the other way where this is sticking off the table and let it dry, just like that. Okay. You grab this one and do your right side. Yeah.
Cold case detectives have what they came for. Almost 2 months later, DNA test results on Stephen Burris come back from the lab. Neither one is the man who raped and killed Nicole Smith. After 20 months working this cold case, detectives are back where they started, with a suspect sketch, a profile, and a hope that someone somewhere can help them find a killer.
I think, you know, of course, we want people to look at this sketch that we have here. So anybody that has any knowledge of anybody around the time that Nicole Smith was killed, that had a gap tooth, that lived in that area, that looked even remotely similar to this. Those are the people we want to find and have contact us.